Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Living Arts. I'm your host, Jackie Suarez. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Tonight, we are going to travel into the world of art. We have Wendie Garber. She is the director of the Flatiron Gallery in downtown Peekskill. Thank you for coming to the show. It's so nice to have you here.
I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. I've been to your gallery many times.
Yes.
I was mentioning earlier that whenever someone comes to Peekskill, that's one of the stops, like the Statue of Liberty or something, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I hope it is. That sounds good, yes.
No, it's absolutely, if you have not been to the Flatiron Gallery, I strongly recommend that you go there. We have art, we have jewelry, we have photography.
Yeah.
But I will let Wendie tell you all about it. So,
Yeah.
tell us, you've been in business now for 16 years. Why don't you give our audience a little history lesson on the gallery?
Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be part of the Peekskill's downtown art district, which is forever growing. It's really a fabulous experience. I came really as an artist first 20 years ago to the Flatiron building because there was only one space left that had a small studio space available. And I was an art teacher in the local school district, Hendrick Hudson School District. And I wanted to go on the weekends to do my painting. And I thought, wouldn't this be nice to be part of what's happening in Peekskill? So I took that space in 1992 when a lot of the spaces in Peekskill were being offered to artists or art-related businesses to revitalize the town.
Oh, okay.
And I loved being in part of the experience of being in the Flatiron building, which is so historic and right across from the Paramount Center for the Arts, and I met wonderful people. Up until that point, I was quite isolated. I was teaching art and I was doing painting on my own, but I really wasn't part of the big artistic experience with other colleagues that were artists. So that was really exciting to come in 1992. But then in 1996, I took an additional space that adjoined my studio. And when it was a bigger space, I decided, hey, you know what? This would be kind of fun to just start showing some other people's artwork besides my own. And very naively, I thought I might do some painting there too when I expanded my space. But I never painted again in the space. It became a gallery. And I named it after the Flatiron building. So
in Manhattan?
Well, actually, our building is a Flatiron building too, because just like the one in Manhattan,
It's that triangle shape.
It's a triangle shape that has to fit into a very narrow corner, and we're only 3 stories, and of course the grand one is in Manhattan, the beautiful Flatiron building. But I thought it'd be fun to name it the Flatiron Gallery after that architectural style of our building, and of course everybody could find us then, you know. And I always say also that we're diagonally across from the Paramount Center for the Arts, which is really the heart of the art district. I mean, before the artists came and had studios and other businesses came, we always had the Paramount. The Paramount was first and still is, of course, the biggest force in town for bringing the arts to fruition. Fantastic.
It is. You know, I've seen many performances there. I think going back, I saw Little Feet. I've seen Buckwheat Zydeco.
Yeah.
I've seen so many things, and I will also go see a movie there from time to time, and I really like it.
It's very diverse, wonderful.
It's old school theater.
Yes. You have live performance, you have movies, and you know what I've been doing recently? I don't know if you like the opera, but I really love the opera. And it's very expensive to go to a real opera and to go down to the Met. I haven't done that in years. But they now have opera on film offered at the Paramount.
Really?
It's just fantastic. And it's on the big screen, and you feel like you're right at the opera. So
you feel like you're at Lincoln Center?
Yeah, so I go there for that. I go for many things.
So it's every Friday?
No, actually, it's a couple times a month. I think it's on Sundays and Tuesday nights, Sunday afternoon, Tuesday nights. But, you know, they offer so much. And one of the things that's nice about the Paramount, too, is they have a visual art space. They have their own gallery on the 2nd floor.
That's right.
And for the last 6 years, they've asked our gallery, the Flatiron Gallery, to put up a show there during the holiday season. So it's so nice to have that connection with the Paramount because they're right across the street from us. And so we curate a show. We select artists usually for a theme, and this year's theme was Tree of Life.
Okay.
And then what we do is, if we sell any paintings in that show at the Paramount, we donate 20% back to the Paramount to help the theater. And they, in turn, of course, are letting us use another space to show our artists. And a lot of people come in that maybe we never would have met.
Exactly.
That will see our shows. So it's all wonderful, and it's a nice relationship. And then other people put up art shows too during the year.
Uh-huh.
So it's great. But I wanted people to know that there's art, visual art in the Paramount as well as performing art.
That's good to know. You know, I always thought it was one of the aspects of the theater, but I thought it stayed the same all the time. It was just kind of eye candy, so to speak. I didn't
No,
realize that
actually,
it
they
was
have
it was
changing
evolving and
exhibits.
changing.
Yeah, I'm glad I can tell you that because they have changing exhibits, and it should be on their website if people want to know what the art exhibit is or what the next movie is or performing.
Oh, okay. Why don't you give our audience that website so they could?
I believe it's ParamountCenter.org.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
So you heard something. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Although I'm sure I'm
Yes.
the last person in town that didn't know about it.
ParamountCenter.org. Yes, and our gallery also has a website. Should I say that?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Our website is flatiron.qpg.com. And it's good to have a website because our gallery is so diverse. We have so many different types of art. I mean, at least if you go to the website, you could see a little bit of what we have. And of course, if you come to the gallery, you'll get the full experience. But it's hard sometimes to talk about. You have to kind
You
of
have to see it. It's a visual medium.
Yes.
So I know this when I've gone up into the studio. There's a whole lot going on there, and it seems like you have a couple of artists that are in residence.
Yes.
So what do you have going on there now?
Well, what's going on actually is that the gallery's on the second and third floor, and I rent spaces there for the gallery. And then we have 8 art studios as well. Artists that rent their own spaces in the Flatiron building. But I also represent them, so they're also part of the gallery indirectly.
Oh, I see.
And even when they're not there, I have keys to their studios, so I show visitors their work. And we've often had shows together and so forth. So I make a joke sometimes when people come in when I take out all my keys that I'm like the mother of the house there, because you could come on a day where there isn't any artist in the building, but I still show you their studios.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm there more often.
Oh, okay.
But they're there quite a bit too. But I'm there Thursday through Sunday, and by appointment. So I certainly will open up any studio if someone wants to see another artist there.
So I'm fascinated by the history of the gallery.
Yeah.
You know, 16 years is a long time. You've
Yeah.
been holding down the fort. I'm sure
Yeah.
throughout the years there have been some times, especially with the economy being, what it is, that it was very
Yeah.
difficult for you. So, when you last left us off, with this history lesson, we left off in the 90s, and you started to. But why did you stop painting?
Well, I still paint actually, but I cannot paint in the space that I thought I was going to paint in. I originally took the space before I had the gallery to paint in, which I did. But once you start showing other people's artwork and you're open to the public, you really don't have that quiet time to do your painting and concentrate on that. You have another job. You're a gallery director. You're showing art. You're talking about art. You're having tour groups come through and so forth. It's different. So it's no longer a studio for me. I'm just really representing other artists. But in terms of my own painting, I still paint, but not there. I like to paint outdoors actually. And most of my paintings now are done on location in the spring, summer, and fall.
Awesome. So
Yes.
you're like a bit of a naturalist. Are you
I
doing?
just bring small canvases and out to beautiful places I like to paint. A lot of beautiful places here in the Hudson River Valley. And when the weather's good and I can take a morning off, that's where I am. I'm painting. So you might see me down by the Peekskill Riverfront perhaps.
Okay,
but
so what
yeah.
was the last spot that you went to paint?
Well, let's see. The last spot actually was in Terrytown. I was painting in the backyard of Lyndhurst.
Oh, the
which is
Lyndhurst
really
Museum.
Beautiful, yeah.
Don't they
And-
also hold the Food and Wine Festival there?
Yeah. So in the fall, I was painting there. I have not painted in the winter. We have taken a break from painting, but I did display one of my paintings that I did in Lyndhurst at this recent Tree of Life show at the Paramount. And I will go back to painting in the spring. I like to paint in Croton. They have a wonderful river walk there I like to paint at. Stone Barns is beautiful. There's so many nice spots around here. You don't have to go far. But anyway, so I stopped painting at the gallery. I just mainly, as I said, was functioning as a gallery representing other artists.
Okay.
And this is. You asked me how do you do this for 16 years? Isn't it difficult to stay in business? And it is. It is a little difficult. But I think what happened with me was that I diversified.
Oh, okay.
Meaning, I didn't. I have beautiful paintings that we have all the time, on display and for sale. But I also have gift items that are handmade, that are less money, and they help bring in, people more often that maybe weren't going to buy a painting that month, but they might need something, like a beautiful handcrafted piece of jewelry as a gift or something. Because people need gifts all year round. And
That's
so
the
forth.
truth.
So we kind of expanded. If you went into a formal gallery, perhaps in New York City, you might only see paintings or sculpture or photography, and that's it. And if you like the work, fine. If you don't, you're out in 5 minutes. In my place, it's just the opposite. There's so much to see. It's almost like a candy shop. It's a little crazy. It's a little too busy sometimes, I say. But we do have a lot to offer, so that people don't leave in 5 minutes. They really find it's interesting to take the time to explore. They don't expect to see so much jewelry in addition to the paintings or pottery. Upstairs we have sculpture. We have hand-blown glass items.
Oh, that's
and now
that's awesome.
this is really crazy, but now we even have reversible art jackets, and I'm wearing one tonight.
Oh, please do. I was admiring that earlier.
I didn't
Tell me all about
expect to go
it.
into wearable art, but this is a new development since December, and it's doing very well.
So tell me about this.
Well,
The artist.
a company called me from Braintree, Massachusetts. It's a beautiful company that's been in the textile business for 30 years. They're called Winding River Clothing.
Okay.
And they said that they sell these wonderful reversible art jackets, and they sell them mainly to little galleries like mine and museum gift shops. And they asked if I'd be interested. And they're made in the USA, and I said, I try anything once. So they sent me a sample.
So each jacket has a different design on it.
Yes.
So you'll always know that the one that you have is one of a kind.
Well, no. They make several designs. So, like for instance, see the one I have now. If somebody else wanted this exact jacket, we could get it in their size. But they have many styles to choose from, many colors, many patterns. But this is one of their popular patterns I happen to be wearing tonight. So,
well, it looks lovely on you, and I like the idea that you can change it, which is very interesting. There's so many ways to express yourself as an artist, and I think, especially with certain types of jewelry, because I know someone in Pennsylvania, we used to work together, that she makes jewelry, and it is a form of art. Basically.
Oh, definitely. Jewelry is so interesting. I mean, I really get into that part of the business because, to me, they're like little sculptures, And you said of a lot of personal expression. There's so many different ways to make jewelry, and some people come in with the most outrageous pieces. I mean, I just love to see how creative they are with exploring the different ways to make jewelry and work with beads, and some are precious stones and mixed metals and all kinds of things, natural materials. So that's fun. And I like when people come in. I like them to have fun. I want it to be comfortable. I don't want it to be scary to go to a gallery and be scared. Oh, I don't know.
Right, you don't want to be bombarded with a lot of stuff that you don't understand. That's one of the things I enjoy about your gallery. It's so accessible.
Yeah, I think that we talk a lot when people come in, and a lot of people like to come in and maybe just try on some jewelry and have fun doing that. Or now we're trying on jackets, but they feel like they can do that. That it's okay to do that. It's not like it's very stiff and very formal.
Right.
The way we if you're not interested in paintings, then you have to leave or something. We welcome everybody, and you don't have to buy anything. You can just look. It's free. It's a wonderful experience.
Right. From all the times that I've been at the gallery, you will find Wendie at her desk with her glasses on, and she's not bothering you at all. If you want to discuss something, you want to talk about pricing, Wendie will come out of her office and discuss it with you. If not, you're free to roam around.
Free to roam.
Museum-like.
Right.
Many of the artists' studios are open, which I find terribly interesting, to see works in progress and just see, what's been going on and what they're not showing necessarily.
Some people come once a week just to see how the artists are progressing on the paintings they're working on. We have a lot of repeat visitors. They love to come in and they check in often to see what's new, what's going on that's new. Absolutely. Yeah.
So they don't find that intrusive? I've done a little bit of writing, and I've always been so particular about it, maybe, because I'm not such a great writer. But definitely we're not showing anything until I'm ready to, here it is.
I think the artists are used to it, and they welcome it, and I do too. We get new pieces in all the time, and if people want to come in and check in with us, people love to talk about their artwork, and share what the new developments. It is very visual, and it is not a piece of writing. Maybe it's true, maybe harder to share until it is finished, But the process, the creative process, when you're working on a painting or a sculpture or something, is really interesting from beginning to end. So some people want to be part of that and actually ask the artist questions as they're painting and developing their work.
You know, it reminds me because I've studied a little bit about Van Gogh. I'm very fond of his work, and similar when he was with Paul Cézanne in France. You know, kind of like this colony of artists
that was a good
that were
time.
beginning their careers,
Right.
and just kind of get that feeling when I go to see your
Well,
your space. Why don't you give us some information about the artists that are there now?
oh yes, well we're like a family, and it is kind of an artist colony. No one feels isolated. We're all connected. We're all work together.
That's
And
nice.
we have some very brilliant artists in our building. I'd be very proud to mention their names. On the second floor, we have Anne Johan, who is from Croton, and she's a fabulous painter. And our own Hudson Valley Hospital has several of her pieces on display there, and some they bought, permanent collection.
Nice.
They have a wonderful Art for Healing program there, by the way, at our own hospital. And we've worked together to help them find artists, and
Okay.
It's just a great program. But anyway, Anne teaches art also. She sometimes has a couple students in her studio right at the building that she's teaching. Sometimes she teaches outdoor painting as well. But she's been there many years, and she's a real asset to our community. Fabulous painter, specializing in the Hudson River landscape. Then we have Lavinia Wiggins that moved to our building not too long ago, a couple of years now. She used to have a studio across the street at the Brown Street Studios,
Okay.
and just moved over to our space. And she's great. Now, one thing I love about Lavinia is that she does a lot of paintings about memorabilia.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you go into her studio, you'll see old toys and all kinds of old hats and gloves and pipes, all kinds of things from her past, from other people's past, children's things. It's really interesting. So people love her studio. I mean, and they love talking to her. I mean, every studio is completely different, so it's
Right. Everyone's kind of doing their own
it's
thing.
a great experience, but they're all very talented artists. So Brooke Maher is also on our second floor, and
That
we
makes
have a
sense.
photographer too, but I don't have a key to hers, so I won't mention her name.
Wonder what
right
she's
now.
up to over there.
But anyway, on the third floor, we actually have a husband and wife, believe it or not. They have two separate studios. They come in from White Plains, Berenice Pliskin and Bob Pliskin. Berenice is a fabulous silk painter, really great, and she used to be
wow.
an art teacher too. And her husband Bob is a photographer, and he uses his studio mainly as a showcase for his work. Again, very talented. He does many photographs of this area, but also other places he's traveling, and he's doing a lot of modern experiments with all kinds of digital work and Photoshop and Illustrator, and more abstract pieces. And so there's so much to see when you go in his studio or Berenice's studio, and Berenice has won many awards for her work.
Nice.
And then we have Nadine Gordon Taylor, who is a fabulous artist as well. She draws and paints in every single medium, colored pencil, oil, watercolor, you name it, she does it. She teaches art at Scarsdale High School and uses her studio weekends mainly. But she also just started a whole new intuitive painting series, which is very fascinating. Spiritual, very symbolic stuff going on there. So people love talking to Nadine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's a lot of artists in the building to speak
So all
with,
of these artists, if you wanted to get information about them
Yes.
or book an appointment or see them in any
Yes.
way, you just go on to Wendie's website and do that.
Yes, you can contact me, or many of them have their own websites too.
And there's links on your site to that.
Well, I can help them find them.
Oh,
Yes,
terrific.
Yes, right.
You know, I wanted to go into this coming Saturday. You're having an event.
A Sunday.
Sunday, you're having an event.
Yes.
And it is called Treasures to Love.
Yes, Treasures
So
to
please
Love
tell
is
our audience
coming.
about that.
Yeah. Well, we try to have a party once a month. Parties are very important. We love to celebrate. And of course, it's the month of Valentine's Day and all those good things. So we have love on our minds this month, and so we fortunately do have a lot of treasures to love. So we have a very romantic group show up. We have paintings that are romantic,
Okay.
still lifes, oils, pastels. We have beautiful jewelry if anyone needs a special gift, for Valentine's Day. We certainly have a great selection there. And we have hand-painted silk scarves. We have beautiful pottery. Select items that we kind of put together for this show called Treasures to Love. And we will be having refreshments, and it's a free party on this Sunday, February 5th from 1 to 5 p.m. And what's nice about the parties, too, is if you come, not only will you see the work, but you get to meet the artists.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's why we do have a party once a month, too, so that you can meet the artists. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, come party with us, absolutely.
I'm going to come and check it out.
It's so
now,
much fun, yeah.
on Sunday, March 4th, tell
Yeah.
us about the art reception you're going to be having then.
Oh, yes. Now, this is going to be a solo show. In the same room where the other show with Treasures to Love is this month. Well, that'll all be taken down and be placed with a new show in our main room as you walk in called Winged Odyssey 2. It's a very fancy title. Winged Odyssey 2.
I have a whole lot of visions in my
I can
mind
just
right now.
imagine.
So,
What
yeah.
are we envisioning, right? Well, it's a solo show for an Austining artist, Stephen Renksdorf. And it's the first time that we've given Stephen a solo show, although I do have some of his work at the gallery right now. And he is a really talented woodcut artist. So he carves pieces of wood, and then he inks them and prints them, and he has the most beautiful black and white woodcuts and hand-colored woodcuts, and then some watercolors too. And what they are actually studies of birds that are in our area and the Hudson River landscape, and he combines that. So you might see, for instance, a hawk flying over the Peekskill riverfront or something
Right.
in the composition. These really nice pieces, and we're excited to have this show. It's going to be different than, very different than the painting show that we have up now.
It sounds like it. I mean, that sounds, because you have such a rich area to work with
Yeah.
because it is so scenic. You
Yeah,
know,
oh,
we're in
yeah,
a beautiful
yeah,
place. We're in a
yeah.
totally beautiful place.
I love that it's about taking in the landscape. Yeah,
I like that combination as
Yeah.
well. And now I'm very excited to talk about
yeah.
your gallery being chosen as one of the best places for Westchester Magazine.
Oh yeah, this
Right
is
here.
It's a great surprise and exciting too for me, of course.
So
I
tell
don't
me
know,
about
I
the
got
whole
a
thing.
call. I
It
just got a call about a month ago that said, "Could you send a picture of the gallery to us? This is Westchester Magazine because we want to mention your gallery in our April issue called. They have an article called Best Places, and I think it might be about best places to live, but they're featuring places within those places to go to, like galleries and restaurants and so forth." So,
very interesting.
Yeah.
So finally, how does that feel after all
It
these
feels
years?
great because, it's a wonderful, prestigious magazine, Westchester Magazine. So
It
if
is.
anybody's calling from that magazine because they want to mention your business, it feels really great to get that call, yes.
Congratulations. You totally
Yeah,
deserve
I
it. You
guess
totally
hard work
deserve
pays
it.
off,
There you go.
Yeah, I'm very,
Good for
I'm very
you.
pleased about that, yeah.
Yes, and I'm very happy that,
Yeah.
there's someone that's going to, give you the recognition that you need or deserve.
Well, it's lovely because you could tell a lot of people that, and they do have
Oh, yeah.
a big, a lot of people are reading their magazine.
Oh, I am. I
Big
subscribe.
distribution. Yeah,
I
yeah.
subscribe, and I think it's just a wonderful wealth of information.
Yeah.
So what are they going to be doing? Have they interviewed you already?
Actually, they don't need to for some reason. I asked that question.
Okay.
They just wanted some visuals, some photos of our gallery, and apparently they have all the information they need. I think they must have looked up our website or something.
Oh, they've been asking other
Yeah.
people. That's very
I
sneaky
really
of
don't-
them.
I really don't know. We'll have to wait till April to see what's going to happen with that. But any mention that they do is very nice. And of course, other Peekskill businesses have already been mentioned in
Oh, really?
many
Like
years.
who?
Well, I know several of our restaurants have been mentioned. Paramount is always in. I think the Peekskill Coffee House was in the Westchester magazine not too long ago. So it's great. It's great. Peekskill's on the map. I want to say that it's not
It
just
totally
about,
is.
It really isn't just about, talking about my business tonight because I'm part of a bigger
Bigger
entity,
scene, a bigger scene.
When several businesses in Peekskill are mentioned, like in the magazine or have events, it helps everybody.
Exactly.
So because people love coming to Peekskill now. It's got so much energy, and they might hear about it more through your program and this magazine and other things like this that are great. But when they do finally land, after they hear about Peekskill, they're not disappointed. They're pleasantly surprised
They're
now.
not.
And they can come day or night and get such an experience. Years ago, the night wasn't so great in Peekskill. We didn't have as much to offer, but now, my God, The restaurants are so fabulous, so many to pick from, and they have great music in all the restaurants.
That is true. That is true.
It's really entertaining. I mean, I just love it. I don't have.
It is, you know, and I've mentioned this many times, and it's one of the reasons why I started the show. It's
Yeah.
got such a fantastic group of artists,
Right.
musicians.
Yeah,
You know, there's so many,
huge.
and I don't think a lot of people know about what exactly is happening here. We can't get the word out enough.
Well, that's right. But you're always going to have plenty to say though, because, you know, there's just in a small area. There's so many talented people, and they have really helped. I mean, they really brought this community back to life. So, you know, anytime you can get the word out about all the music that's happening and the art, it's wonderful.
So, you know, we're going to be wrapping up shortly. What I wanted to do is give our audience some information about the items that you brought with you today.
Yeah, well, actually, you know, this whole experience did start with my own desire to have a student be part of the Peekskill Art Scene. So I brought one of my landscape oil paintings with me.
You painted this?
Yes, I did. Yes.
All right.
Of course, we have many other painters that I represent, but I did bring one of my own for tonight's program.
No, good for you. I love that.
Yeah, and that's the Hudson River, and that's up north near Vanderbilt Mansion.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I brought a sample of a beautiful necklace that's made by a designer called Anat. And
I'm sorry, not?
Anat,
Anat.
A-N-A-T, Anat, designer. Okay. And I brought a beautiful ceramic piece by Abigail Large. And I brought a silk scarf by Patty Villanova. So
And there's a necklace on here as well, a silver necklace.
Oh, and a silver necklace that's a flexible necklace that we play with. We make sculptures with that.
Is that a gift for me?
Oh, you'd look great in that. I think so. I think so, absolutely.
Well, you know, I have to thank you for
Yes.
coming. This has been a wonderful interview.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad that I could be here tonight and share everything with the community.
Yeah. Tell our audience how they can get in touch with you, how they can reach you about your site again.
Well, I would love you to look up our website. It's flatiron.qpg.com. And I'd also like to tell you that we're open Thursday through Sunday,
Okay.
12 to 6, and by appointment. So please stop by, and I would love to meet you, and you could stay as long as you want and explore. I enjoyed looking forward to our conversations.
Terrific.
Yes.
Well, when you get there, you ask for Wendie.
That's right.
And, you know, I just so glad that she came to talk to us. It's been just great hearing about all the stuff going on in your gallery, and I'm so happy for you about
And I love-
Westchester
yeah,
Magazine.
Thank you so much.
You
Love
know,
being part of Peekskill.
Thank you, my audience, for tuning in. Please contact me at livingarts.westchester@gmail.com. And as usual, I will be bringing you all of the richness that, you know, this area has to offer. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon. Peace.
Okay.
So, no, really, I want that.